It's Kino with SnapWithKino.com. And let's see here. Getting to the right page, guys. Give me a moment. Now and live now. And there we go. Okay, so here we are. Another video or live stream for FAA and military aptitude test prep. When you enter the room, please enter your location and the test that you are preparing for. And let's start firing those questions off and getting them in so I can put them in queue and start solving them. The first question is going to be from Mr. Salter, and let's jump right in. All right. I need my other mouse. There you go. Your other mouse. Okay, so let me get to it. Okay, Mr. Salter has a question. It's a fraction question. It's all good, Kiana. Alrighty, so Mr. Salter has a question, and he says he does not think that any one of these questions or the answers are correct to the question. So just to jump in, it is 4 1/5 plus 1 2/5 plus 3 3/10. And can you guys hear me okay? Let's confirm that first while I write the answers down. Eight and 6/15, and then we have 9 5/10. I don't know why they put 9 5/10 when that's like 9 1/2, but at any rate, oh no. It would be 5/10 because 95 over 10 would not be 1/2, but at any rate. All right. So, as we look at this question, it is mixed numbers where we have a whole number and a fraction, whole number, fraction, whole number, and a fraction. And basically, Mr. Salter thinks that these questions, or the answers, are not right to this question. Our answers are 8 3/10, 9 1/10, 8 5/4, and 8 6/15, and 9 5/10. So as I look at this, I'm looking at this, and I can merge these two. All right, meaning that all I need to do is 4 plus 1 is 5, and then 1/5 and 2/5 is actually 3/5. All right, and then all we need to do is add the 3/10. All right, now what I always do is I'll make them improper fractions because to me, I think they're easier to work with, and then I'll work it like that. So we're gonna add 3 3/10. These are the answers to the right of the line, and so what I would do is 5 times 5 is 25, 28 over 5, 10 times 3 is 30, and that is 33 over 10. Now, what I would do is I would convert this to tenths. And so if I change the denominator, multiply that by 2, we'll multiply the numerator by 2. And so we would get 56 over 10 plus 33 over 10. And then that would be 89 over 10. Okay. And so 8 9/10. And guys, double check me if you guys agree with my answer. If we change 89, 8, 9, 10. 89 over 10. 89, yeah. 8 9/10. So I believe Mr. Salter's right. None of those answers were correct, and you have to. Let me just check. No 9/10. Okay. I was just checking the screen to make sure that I wrote down everything properly, and all the answers were written down properly. So I have 89/10, and so you were right. And you have to be careful with these test prep books because if they publish a mistake, they're not going to pull 10, 20,000 books off the shelf. They're just going to sell them, and they're going to go out the door, and you are going to be stuck with that book with the mistake. And I guess all you could do is just contact the publisher or whatever, and then just be like, hey, look, this answer is wrong, and in the next edition, they will probably change it, but they're probably not going to do that. So you have to beware, because if sometimes there are wrong answers in these books, and that's probably why you probably need either a teacher or tutor or someone that's very well versed in military aptitude testing or just mathematics in general to help you get to the right answer. So you are exactly right, Mr. Salter. Good job. Again, anybody that is new to the room, I'm here every week, Friday, from 9 to 11, and Eastern time, that is. And, if you are preparing for the ASVAB, the OAR, the SIFT, the AFOQT, I said ASVAB already, or any Federal Aviation Administration test, FAA computer test exam, as it pertains to pilots, from private pilot all the way to airline transport pilot, I've earned all those certificates, and the instructor ratings, and the ground school ratings. So I'd like to think I'm an expert. I like to think so, good answer, good question, Mr. Salter, and guys, keep sending these questions in. Let's go back to the email, and let me type in my email on the message board here, just so anybody new to the room can make sure they take a picture with their smartphone. They can send it to this email, and yeah, you can ask mechanical comprehension questions. That is not a problem. And what else? I was thinking about something else, and you threw me off, Kiana. Threw me off, girl. It's all right. Okay, where is my trusty little eraser? Okay. So, let me see if I can. Somebody's trying to. Ryan, are you in the room yet? Box. All right, I've sent you the link, and somebody was having trouble getting in. Okay, all right, I just sent the link to your email, so, all right, okay. So you're here, very good. And let's see. I noticed this week that a lot of people were having problems with system of equations. My personal method for solving them is the substitution method. So I have a couple here. Read. This is for you, because I don't think you were able to make it tonight. So we have to understand, when we think about linear equations, there's two ways primarily of writing them. I think there's only two ways, but primarily we're going to have the slope-intercept form. And you're going to have the standard form. Now, don't get all caught up by the like the equations, how, that they write them, but the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And the standard form is ax plus by equals c. And this is just to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like, what this linear equation is going to look like. So let me give you an example of the slope-intercept form. It will be like y equals 2x plus 3. Slope-intercept form. This is the slope, 2 over 1, which is the rise over run. And this is the y-intercept. This is the point at which the line will intersect the y-axis. If you guys remember the Cartesian coordinate plane, you have your x-axis and you have your y-axis. So it's very, very important that you understand how to read it in slope-intercept form and understand what the line is supposed to do. Because sometimes in testing, they'll be like, okay, they'll put a bunch of graphs up and they'll say, which graph represents this line? And I should see 1, 2, 3 points above the origin, and the line should be 2 over 1. It should be something like this. So that's how it would look like. If it was going like this, or if it was going like this, these would be the wrong graphs to pick. So your graph will look like that. So it's very, very important to be able to read how the line is going to look using the slope-intercept form. You cannot tell in standard form. If we change this to standard form, it would be negative 2x because the 2 jumps the equal sign, plus y equals 3. So y equals mx plus b, that is the slope-intercept form, and this is the standard form. Ax, and a could be negative, plus by equals c. C is like the whole number in this situation. So these are actually 2 different versions of the same line. Okay, so if it looked like this, and it asks you for the graph, you will first have to turn it into slope-intercept form. Now, in systems of equations, this is a situation where you have 2 lines, and you have to find out where they're going to intersect at, where they're going to meet at. And so what we do is we simultaneously solve the x and y values together. Now, like I said, my method is a substitution method. I love the substitution, if I could pronounce my words this evening. I love the substitution method. All right, so let's pull out a really interesting one. Not a regular one, but an interesting one. I like interesting. Okay, negative 2x. That one's going to be really, really tough. And I don't want to go that hard on you guys. I want to give you a nice, gentle one. I want to be gentle. All right, I'll be gentle. 17. Negative 3x minus 4y equals 2. That is the standard form. 3x plus 3y equals negative 3. Now we have 2 different equations in the slope and the standard form. And what I say, this is my own little method, mentally I say to myself, we're going to add downward. What I mean by that is we're going to add downward, which means we're going to vertically add the numbers in the columns. This is already set up for us, so we don't really need to manipulate an equation. Sometimes we would need to manipulate an equation. But since we have a negative 3x and a positive 3x, the x's are going to just go away. They're going to zero, what I call zero out, okay? And we isolate the y value, or the y variable. So negative 3x plus 3x is 0x, and then negative 4y plus 3y is negative y. And then 2 and negative 3 is negative 1. And all we've done is just add vertically. All right. Now, we're not solving for negative y. We're solving for y. So all we have to do is change the signs on both sides. If negative y is negative 1, then positive y is positive 1. So we have our y value of where we're going to find that our lines intersect. Now, substitution. We take the y and we insert it in either one of these to find out what x is. So I'm going to use the second equation. So I'm going to write 3x plus 3, y is being substituted by 1, equals negative 3. All right, 3x plus 3, because 3 is distributed into the parentheses. 3 times 1 is 3, negative 3. And then 3x, 3 jumps the fence with the equal sign and becomes negative, and negative 6. And so x is equal to negative 2. So these two lines cross each other or intersect at negative 2 and 1, which if we looked at our Cartesian coordinate plane, negative 2, positive 1. All right. Was that clear, guys? Type in clear if you guys understood what I just did. Let me stay hydrated. They say it's unprofessional to eat and drink when you're making a video, so that's why I kind of leaned over. All right, but I have to, do a lot of talking. Got to keep my voice nice and my vocal cords nice and moisturized. Alonzo, good to see you. Well, can you do another one? Of course I can do another one. That's why we're here. You watch Kino do math. Okay. So now, let's do another one. Sometimes you will get a really, really weird one. And for manipulation, I want to... There we go. All right. So here we go. I have 2x. Oh, bad marker. You're bad. 2x plus y equals 20. And 6x minus 5y equals 12. Now, when we do our addition vertically, nothing is going to cancel out. So what I can do is, and we'll call this equation 1 and we'll call this equation 2. I can manipulate one of the equations. I'm going to manipulate equation 1. How am I going to do that? I'm going to multiply each term by negative 3. And when I do that, I'll just put in for the manipulated equation. And then we're going to forget about this middle one when we do our vertical. But when I manipulate this, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. So I picked that negative 3 because I wanted a negative 6 to go with this so I could isolate y. Negative 3 times y is negative 3y, and then negative 6. So we're going to forget about equation 1 for a minute, and we're going to work with the manipulated equation, which is negative 6x, minus 3y equals negative 6. So when we vertically add the manipulated equation with equation 2, the x's cancel out. Negative 6x plus 6x is 0. Negative 3y and negative 5y is negative 8y. And negative 6 and 12 is 6. All right. So this is going to come out a little funky. It's going to turn into, it's going to be a fraction. And I'm just kind of glancing back and forth, pay me no mind. All right, so negative 8y. That was manipulated. And 3 says, okay, just checking myself. So we're going to have negative 6 over 8. All right. So that is going to be our y value. All right. Negative 6 over 8. And I might be able to do something, but I'm going to put it in the easiest equation, which is 2x plus y equals 2. All right, so 2x plus y is equal to y is going to be replaced with negative 6/8. 2x minus 6 over 8 equals 2. The 6/8 will go to the other side and become positive, and we will have 2 plus 6 over 8. Now 16, 2x. All right. Now I'm going to see if I can't manipulate this. So 8 times 2 is 16 plus 6 is 22. All right. So 22 over 8. All right. 8 times 2x is 22. This is one of those weird ones. I don't normally get stumped like this. All right. That's one I manipulated. 2x, y. Oh, that's why. I apologize. I made an error. This is not 2, but it's 20. Okay. I was like, why is this looking all retarded? Kino, because you didn't copy the answer down right. That's why. So we'll still do the manipulation. 3x, and I apologize, folks, for that. 3x times 2 is negative 6. Negative 3x times y is negative 3y. And then this would actually be negative 60. Sorry, negative 60. That was the problem. So negative 3 times 20 is 60, negative 60. So when we go vertical, negative 6, the x's cancel out. We get negative 8y. And negative 60 and 12, 10, 48. Negative 48. So y would be equal to 6. Okay, that makes more sense now. So the y value is 6. And I apologize for that hiccup there, guys. Okay, so y is going to be input into the y position in equation 1. So 2x plus, we replace y with, we substitute y for 6. And then 2x equals 6 jumps, comes 14, x is equal to 7. So the two lines will intersect at 7 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the point where the two lines will intersect. Okay. I was like, wow, that but when you have a certain structure, when something kind of doesn't feel right, you saw me kind of like pausing and look like, man, that's not right. But I went back to the question and I saw the error that I made. So you have to kind of get into being able to catch yourself. Even when you're testing, sometimes you may start to do a computation and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel right. And so sometimes you may need to step back. All right. So to recap, our initial equations were equation 1, 2x plus y equals 20. Equation 2 was 6x minus 5y equals 12. I wanted to manipulate the equation 1 so that it would balance out or counterbalance one of these numbers. And so I opted to multiply each term by negative 3. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6. Negative 3 times y is negative 3y. And negative 3 times 20 is negative 60. We vertically added. This x is canceled out. Negative 3y and 5y is 8y. Negative 60 plus 12 is 48, or negative 48, sorry. We divide 8 by both sides. Y equals 6. 6 is our y coordinate. We take 6. We substitute y for 6. And so we have 2x plus 6 equals 20. We work it out, x is equal to 7. Was that clear, guys? And type in clear if you guys understood. And Keanu, you're the one that asked for another one, so I definitely want to make sure that you guys are clear. So these are not very hard. You just have to understand the structure, and you have to understand if you see a line in slope-intercept form, you're going to have to change it into standard form before you can work them. And once you do that, substitution method I find is the best and easiest method. And then worst case scenario, if you had multiple choice where it was like 2 and 3, 7 and 6, 4 and 5. Worst case scenario, let's say you get jammed up on the test. You totally forgot the video. You forgot how to operate these. Then just take the 2, put it in X, take the 3, put it in Y, and see if 2X, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is not equal to 20. So it's like, that's not going to work. We can cancel this out, process of elimination. And then let's say you tried 4 and 5. So you put 4 for X, which is 8, and then 5 for Y. 16 plus 5 is 21. That doesn't work. When we put 7 in for X, 2 times 7 is 14, plus 6 is 20. But it would have to work out here as well, replacing the X and Y values and stuff like that. So if you totally, I forgot how to do system of equations. I'm nervous. It's test day. And you just totally forgot. Just take the answer, but your answer must be able to plug in the X value. You must be able to plug in the X value and the Y value. And it has to make sense. It has to equal 20. And 7 and 6 works in both equation 1 and equation 2. So essentially what we're doing is we're simultaneously solving 2 equations at the same time. At the same damn time. It sounds like a rap song. Okay. I'm sorry, it's Friday. And I have a very extreme sense of humor by nature. I get it from my mom. Okay. Fire those questions away to the email. I am waiting, and I see questions. Okay. Sometimes I think it's the sides or the angles. I'm going to come back to this. I am looking at your question, Leon, and just email me what the answer selections are, and then I'll be able to better provide you with an answer. Okay. All right. Salter's coming in with another question, and it looks like, actually, no, there's a couple here, or maybe one was from the other one. Okay. All right. Amanda took 5 midterm tests for 5 different college classes. Her average for all 5 tests was 88. That night at home, she could remember only her first 4 scores: 78, 86, 94, and 96. What was her score on the 5th test? Okay, there is a averages formula that I like to use And so it looks like this. Test 1 plus test 2 plus test 3 plus the unknown test divided by 1, 2, 3, 4 tests is equal to the average. All right, now don't let that scare you guys. All right, she took 5 tests. All right, so we'll have a 5 here, and we'll have four scores and an X up here. All right, so test 1 is, and let's write down our answer selections: 82, 86, 84, 88, and 87. All right, so this is what the base formula looks like. But it's the tests plus the unknown test divided by a number of tests equaling the average. Okay, so this is not too bad. All right, so test 1, 78, 86, 94, 96 plus X over 5 equals 88, because that is the average. So let's just note how I mirrored the actual formula here. And the cool thing about this is you have to understand this is actually a fraction, and this is a whole number, and you must understand the circular relationship. I call it the circular relationship. Like if I had 8 over 4 equals 2, this tells me that 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So this times this is equal to this. So, all right, 88 times 5, 44. 440? Yeah. So if that is true, then we can say all of this is equal to 440, and then we can solve for X. Now, guys, help me out. I need someone to add these numbers up. Anybody or everybody can jump in. A little bit of crowd participation never hurt. Howlin' Berserker. I'm not sure I've seen your tag before. Ooh, okay, Alonzo. He's just like, boom. So, keep going. You ain't done yet. You guys are brutal. All right, 354. So 354 plus X is equal to 440. 354 goes to the other side and is subtracted from 440. And 86 is our answer. So X is equal to 86. So Amanda forgot what her 5th test score was because she wanted to brag about her B. And that's how we find it. So okay, all right, I see you on the message board, sir. All right, so to recap, the base formula is test 1 plus test 2 plus test 3 plus X, the unknown test, divided by number of tests is equal to the average. Okay, we had 5 tests in our question, so it was test 1, 2, 3, 4 plus X over 5 tests. And you have to make sure that this is the number of entries you have up top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's that way it works out. Okay, well, I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad to see you here to get the best out of it. You have your test prep book, take a picture, and send it to my email. And I will repost that in the, I'll repost it in the timeline. Because this doesn't cost you a thing, man. You know, when I was preparing for the AFOQT back in the day, I wish there was YouTube back then. And I wish there was a guy that was here every Friday night. I'd be like, I'd be emailing questions, even if I had to work that night. Because, this is DVR. So I need clears, guys. And please hit the like button or dislike button. Maria, good to see you. Please hit the like or the dislike button. Either one, doesn't matter. But please hit it if you are enjoying or not enjoying the show. I have some trolls out there. I don't like you. I don't like you. It's always doing math, man. All right. Okay, back to the email. Okay, this is kind of like a SIFT OAR or ASTBE, mechanical comprehension type question. If you are taking the SIFT or you are taking the ASTBE or the OAR, you are going to run into mechanical comprehension. And this is, we have two guys here. Rule number one, do not laugh at my artwork. Very sensitive about my artwork. So we have child A tossing, or no, I should say 1 and 2 because the labels are. So we have child 1 throwing something at child 2. And we have point A, we have point B, we have point C, and then we have point D. And the question is asking, in the figure below, at what point was the ball traveling most slowly? And that will be at point C. And Alonzo, you can check that and confirm that. That's good you didn't give up, Maria. Is there a love button like Facebook? LOL. It's an FAA prep since I'm going to Navy E5 Army 1. You know what? And just to jump off, and thank you, Alonzo. I saw that is correct. I knew it was correct. I'm going to explain it in a minute, but Howland Berserker came up with an interesting comment. He's interested in the FAA test prep. He's looking into going Navy E5 to Army warrant. Yes, a lot of guys are doing that. Who's the last name of the guy? I'm trying to remember the last name of the guy. I've had like 5 guys last year leaving the Navy, going to the Army, becoming good input, Kiana, and great. And I encourage that. You guys help each other out while you're here in the live stream. But a lot of guys are bailing out of the Navy and they're going to go fly helicopters in the Army. I picked up 5 last year. They all got flight contracts. Yeah, it's I wish you the best on your journey, and I'll just put my website. There for your reference, should you need any help, because it's getting very, very competitive now. You have to understand, like, a lot of times you're going to be going up against people that already have a private pilot's license. They already understand aerodynamics. Okay, so if you don't understand aerodynamics and you score down here and these guys are up here, guess who's going to get the slots? You know, so I even take people that know nothing about aviation and I take them through a little mini ground school, really helping them gain an understanding. And I'm having a problem with my video editor because I do have my Oculus Rift and I've been like working with it, you know, as far as doing recordings and stuff like that. But I'm having an issue because it's not working in Windows 10 for some reason. So I promise you guys, I built the machine. I'm looking at it. I built a virtual reality machine and to do videos in SIFT, because you can't just look at a screen and fly it like an airplane simulator. You actually have to be immersed into the helicopter. And it's pretty cool. The actual system works, but the way that I record it and upload it is the problem. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I look right, I'm looking out of the right of the helicopter. I look left, I can look up, I can see the rotor spinning and all that and everything. And so it's awesome for hovering. But hopefully I'm going to get this worked out. I am working diligently, between my work and, STEMwithKino.com and everything. So I do have a lot going on. But stay tuned because I would like you guys, especially you SIF guys, to start making video requests. And the cool thing is I can actually simulate the helicopter being at Fort Rucker, Alabama, the home of Army Aviation. And the navigation aids and everything work. So, okay, I went on a little rant there. Back to the question. C is the part where it's moving the slowest because there's energy. There's a lot of kinetic energy going on as the ball or toy or whatever child one is throwing up. And then when it gets to point C, it kind of just like, well, hold on to that. You see that point where it goes up and then it just kind of hangs. If you had like one of those like still motion, no, not still motion, but if you could slow down the photography, the dry erase marker, it went up, 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 and then it stopped. And then it came down. So it's going up, 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 fighting gravity. And then gravity says, no, you got no more energy, buddy. You have no more kinetic energy. All you have is potential, and then it comes back down. Okay. Okay, good. So everybody's on the same page with that. All right. And guys, I'm telling you, you get the most out of the live stream if you send questions. The live stream's free. I don't understand it. If I had 10 guys like me, I would be flooding. Man, look, okay, you solving questions? Word? Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Solve these. Would the fastest point be A? I am going to have to say yes, because that's where the initial velocity takes place. Yep. That's where the initial velocity takes place. And it's fighting gravity, so gravity's working against it on the way up. And it's going to get slower and slower and slower and slower and slowest. And then it's going to pick its speed back up, because now gravity's helping it out. So at first it's fighting gravity, and then it isn't anymore. Gravity is helping it come back down, as well as to the other child. Another misconception about gravity and all this stuff and everything like that. Two things you should know. In the metrics, you have the metric system, and you have what people call the U.S. customary, or do they call them British units or something like that? But I know definitely U.S. customary, because I did a short little talk somewhere, and U.S. customary was like the official word. So you could be metric or U.S. customary. Gravitational pull, 9.8 meters per second squared, or 32 feet per second squared. Okay. That is the acceleration that gravity puts on objects. So I hang my dry erase marker and I let it go. 9.8, I didn't want it to hit the floor. 9.8 meters per second squared, or 32 feet per second squared. So let's say we have a 10 kilogram object and a 5 kilogram object. And we're on this high, tall building. Don't laugh at my artwork. Those are my windows. They're my windows. And I love my windows. All right, so one person is on this side, one person is on this side. This person is holding a 10 kilogram object. This one is holding a 5 kilogram object. These guys are 500 meters above the ground. So the ground's there. and we release them, they say, on the count of 3, we're going to release the objects. 1, 2, 3. Crowd participation. I would like to know, and listen, don't get mad if you answer it wrong. This is where you make all your mistakes. This is where you make all your mistakes, not on the test. So don't ever feel bad about making a mistake. And no one will make fun of you. I don't play that. I don't want ever see anybody making fun of somebody else just because you know a little bit more. We're all here to learn. So, crowd participation, I like entries. Which object is going to hit the ground first? I know there's a delay, so I'll wait and hydrate. Come on, guys, don't be shy. Yes, yeah, we can say they're the same shape. I'll wait for 2 more. Leon is the only one. Oh, and Howland Berserker. Leon and Howland Berserker are the only ones that got it right. Okay. Gravity does not give a damn about mass. Doesn't care. All right. The gravitational pull is going to act proportionately to the mass of the object. So the 10 kilogram and the 5 kilogram are going to hit the ground at the same time. Gravity doesn't care. All right. So yeah, that is a misconception that I find when I'm like going through mechanical comprehension with my people. My people. All right. Another thing, we have 2 cliffs, 100 meters high in both cases. Okay. We're going to take a 100 kilogram object. All right. And we're going to put it on wheels and we're going to push it off at 10 meters per second. And then we're going to take another, no wheels, but 100 kilogram object. And remember, 10 meters per second is going that way. And so at the time this guy moves off the cliff, this guy is just going to release. So this guy is going to go straight down, 100 meters high. And this guy is going to do like a little drop like that because of the 10 meters per second. I demoed this to my coworkers and they lost their minds. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Sometimes I go to after school like programs and stuff like that and everything. And if they have a STEM program, I volunteer my time, a couple hours out of the month, and I show them these little tricks. The other one is when I talk about negative pressure, and the kids love this, like, it's just not really like that. It should be a, so you see, the paper hangs, and then when I blow across the top, the kids are like, but I'll ask them, what's the paper going to do? Nothing, it's just going to hang there, it ain't going to do nothing. And when I blow, and that is just to kind of give them an idea when I talk about how planes develop lift and things like that. So, crowd participation time, folks. Which object is going to hit the surface first? They're both 100 meters high. This one is actually being pushed off horizontally at 10 meters per second. Alonzo says the same time. Come on, guys, don't be shy. We can't just have one brave soul in the room, can we? One on the left. He has force pushing him. I'm doing my best to follow, but I buffered. It probably doesn't let me see your examples. The right will hit first. Both will hit the ground. I think, Maria, I think you and I have done this problem before. But Maria's right. I think somebody else said at the same time. I think that was Alonzo. Hold on, let me see. Give everybody their credit, man, because, you know, people are like, man, he ain't even give my credit. Yep. Alonzo, you are right. Same time. Kiana, They both will contact at the same time because gravity does not care about the horizontal motion. And we will get into that, Kiana, when we get into projectile motion. We're not there yet. When we get into physics and projectile motion, we will explore why these kinds of things occur. Okay, this is the last live stream of the month. And normally what I do is I say, okay, well, if you haven't done 2 hours with me, you can't come to the Google Hangout. So, but the last one of the month, everybody's invited. And I'm happy you've learned something new. The Google Hangout is a video conference. We'll all be in one room, and it won't just be me talking or lecturing. It'll be, you can ask questions, you can present problems. I can put up problems on the screen as you guys send them to me. It's really, really great if you have a Gmail account when I send you the link. Because it's a Google powered. So if you have a Gmail account, Google somehow makes it much easier. If you don't have a Gmail account, then what will happen is it'll give you like some link to download and stuff like that and everything. So I always say, look, just get a Gmail account, even if you just use it for this, because you're going to have problems getting in. All right, so I will send the email for you to send the Google Hangout request. Everybody's invited. It's the last one of the month. And the last Google Hangout of the month will be, everybody can come in. So 5 minutes left. Now, it might take me, I might not have it up till 10:10, so don't go freak out. It's 10:01, where is he? Don't do that. I lost my train of thought. So it might take me 5-10 minutes to get it up and running. But at any rate, I thank you guys. Well, no, you don't necessarily need a video connection. I think you could probably just watch me. I will have my video rolling, and you can ask questions. You can type in questions. You might even be able to talk. That might be something we need to test out. So, Howlin' Berserker, I would love to see if you can establish a connection. And even if I can't see you, you can still see me. That is a really, really, really good question. How come you other guys didn't answer that? I'm only messing with you guys. At any rate, I'm Kino with STEMwithKino.com. I am here every week, Friday nights from 9 to 11. 9 to 10 is a live stream, and 10 to 11 is a Google Hangout, which is a video conference tool. I'm in it. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, buddy. So I'm here every week. I'm here for military aptitude and Federal Aviation Administration test prep as it pertains to pilots, flight instructors, and ground instructors. As far as the military aptitude test prep, I've been preparing people, primarily pilots, for about 10 years, a little bit more than that, but at any rate, this is like a free resource. You know, I know guys, they say, oh, well, I can't really afford a tutor right now, whatever. My rates are like amazing compared to what I see out there. You have people that charge $60, $70, $100 an hour and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm nowhere near $100 an hour. I'm nowhere near $70 an hour. And I'm better than them. I'm not bragging. Anybody that has come into contact with me, come into contact with the way I teach and the way I prepare you and the way that I train and teach, I'm very passionate about what I'm doing, and I don't do it just so you're able to regurgitate. I teach for understanding, and that's something it's a lost art in our school systems. And I'm not going to go on a rant about our school systems, but I'm a damn good tutor, and my people could vouch for me because they make leaps and bounds. Things, oh man, I hate this. I didn't understand this. I'm like, okay, you're going to be fine because you dealing with me, you're going to be amazing at this. Whatever your weakness is, exponents, radicals, distance rate and time problems, whatever it is, okay? Because I have a different teaching style. And my philosophy is if you haven't learned anything, then I haven't taught. And so our school systems don't operate like that. Like, go come back next semester, bring more money. Or, but I said I wasn't going to rant about the school system. All right, so let me stop. So, you have to understand by just buying the book, these books, a lot of them, like I think Leon showed you guys, there are mistakes in the books. If Big Brother book company, publisher, whatever, push out 30,000 books, they're not taking them off the shelf because of the mistakes. So even if you don't choose me, find somebody, a good tutor with some good reviews. Do your research them, because there's a lot of guys. Oh yeah, I'm an ASVAB tutor, and they're terrible, and and I even post videos, about my people that get through it and stuff. If they want it, some people, they want to remain anonymous, and I respect your anonymity, because somebody was telling me, and I don't know how exactly true this was. I've never heard anything about this, but somebody told me there was an Air Force regulation saying that you're not allowed to hire a tutor to prepare you for the AFOQT. I was like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. You prepare for tests. So even if you want to remain anonymous or whatever, that's fine, because, it's kind of like, it's just a client privilege. I don't go around, oh, I taught this person, I don't do that. So you need to understand that if you want to remain anonymous, you can. It's all right. But the people that don't mind, hey man, I want you to do a congratulations video. I'll do the video for you. So, I get a lot of people through. Some want to remain anonymous, and that's fine. The private pilot, instrument pilot, commercial pilot, airline transport pilot, I've obtained all those ratings, every single one of them. I've been around airplanes for a very long time. So I've seen every computer test examination. I don't care what rating you have or you're preparing for. I've taken the test, and not only have I passed it, but I've never really scored anything under a 90. And I'm talking about upper 90s. Because, I just take it very serious. I always like to show my scores. Oh, look, 95, 98, 97, 99. I get pissed about the 99s. The FAA, they always throw you a curveball. Let me shut up. Pull his ticket. No, but they do. They always throw you a curveball. I remember I was taking my ATP, man. I studied so hard for that thing. I really wanted 100. Goddamn 98. I was so pissed. But anyways, if you are interested in coming to the Google Hangout, it is free for everybody. Please hit the like button or the dislike button, either way. And I will get this Google Hangout lined up and send the